Welcome back to Firestorm Games and another hobby table unboxing. This time we're taking a peek into the new Shadowspear box set from Games Workshop, which sees the forces of the Primus Vanguard clash against the Chaos Demonkin. As usual, we'll be assembling some of the miniatures from the set whilst discussing their design and construction. So let's get started. For this video, we're going to skip over the small mini codexes and Shadowspear booklet, as these have already been previewed by Games Workshop, and instead head straight into the Primaris Vanguard. First of all, we receive a captain, a librarian, and a lieutenant, all equipped with Phobos armor, which is the same lightweight Mark 10 power armor used by Reavers. Also worn by the infiltrators and eliminators, also found in this set. The Phobos armor helps to emphasize the stealth aspects of the Vanguard's operations. The panels are more streamlined and less bulky, opting for maneuverability rather than defensive and offensive capabilities like the slightly chunkier suits worn by intercessors and the Hellblasters. Whilst this isn't reflected in their stat line directly, you will find that all the Phobos wearing units in Shadowspear have access to some form of forward deployment or deep strike capabilities. The special operations aspect of the Vanguard units are also emphasized by the stereotypical kit that they carry. These include things like targeting arrays, silenced weapons, camo cloaks and communications equipment, which feature heavily across all the three characters, the infiltrators and also the exterminators too. The Infiltrators are the core unit of the Vanguard forces, and kind of sit somewhere between Reavers and Intercessors in their appearance. Their armour is Phobos, but their helmets, comm equipment and bolter weaponry are unique to them. Interestingly, the unit is also accompanied by a Helix Adept, which is basically a squad-level apothecary whose task it is to keep the Infiltrators on their feet. No doubt another reference to how the Vanguard, operating ahead of the main force, are required to provide themselves with safeguards for their bodies and minds, in the form of the Helix Adept and the Librarian respectively. The Suppressors are the outliers of the Vanguard. They wear the more bulkier Mark 10 armors of the Intercessors and carry heavy autocannons, which stand in stark contrast against the silenced weapons of the other Primus units. Their design is also a little unusual in the way that they bear some resemblance to the jump pack toting Inceptors, at least from the waist down, as their legs feature the shock absorbers and thrusters. However, their jump packs are much smaller than the Inceptors, even though their rules retain the fly keyword and have a 12-inch movement and can also deep strike. This makes the Suppressors appear to be more of a Photoshop mashup than a unit that follows the design principles of other Primus units. Giving them a larger jump pack and Phobos armor would have made their appearance more believable and helped them to fit in with the other Vanguard units. However, my favourite unit of the Vanguard forces are the Eliminators. They're essentially the Primus version of Sniper Scouts, and that's not a bad thing. With their sniper rifles bearing a striking resemblance to the contemporary G36 assault rifle and night vision goggles reminiscent of Splinter Cell, the Eliminators tick all the cool Spec Ops sniper boxes for me. So with the Primaris taken care of, let's move on to the Chaos side, specifically known as the Demonkin. This set contains updated versions of well-known models, as well as a couple of new items. Leading the charge is the Master of Possession, a Chaos Sorcerer who specialises in all things demonic, who acts as a psychic counterpart to the Vanguard's Librarian. He bears a very shamanistic appearance, sporting furs, feathers and ram skulls, symbols that will be at home in a satanic cult. Joining him are his Greater Possessed. Acting as lieutenants, they carry a similar battlefield role to their Primaris equivalents, buffing the more low-level demon units in your force, whilst also bringing some strong offensive capabilities. These close combat specializations are represented by the huge blades and claws that have replaced their regular hands, and sit alongside other mutations that have caused their power armor to stretch and distort, fusing them into it. Bringing to bear some heavy weaponry, we have the reimagining of the Obliterators. They're still the mass of weaponry, flesh and armour, but they are a little bulkier than their previous incarnations. Essentially, they're mini Hellbrutes. They have the same armour composition, with areas of bulging flesh between the panels. Some of my favourite details about the Obliterators are the ammo feeds into their shoulder-mounted guns. You can see the individual rounds sprouting haphazardly from their flesh before being pulled together and fed into the weapon's ammo feed. It's small details like these that really help to demonstrate the transient nature of the Obliterators' arsenal. Next, we have the Chaos Space Marines themselves. These are your usual traitorous Space Marines, clad in spiked Baroque armour, sporting horn helmets, and various Chaos Undivided iconography. There is nothing significantly new about these miniatures. Think of them as a facelift to the existing range. They're a little less squat than their current multi-part counterparts and are better detailed. However, this shouldn't be viewed as a bad thing at all, as it's great to see a unit that fits well with modern units while still having that recognisable and classic style of the Chaos Marines. Last and certainly not least is the Venom Crawler. This large spider-like demon engine bears a good degree of resemblance to other kits. The spindly legs tipped with triangular plates are similar to those seen on the Onager Dune Crawler, for example. Additionally, the bulbous fleshy body encased in armor plates topped with a spiked crest is very similar to the fetid blight drones employed by the Death Guard. As the designs throw back to existing models, we can see how the Warpsmiths created these beasts from old Imperial tech, fused with demonic binding. The Venom Crawler is the largest model found in this set and towers above even the bulky Obliterators, helping to make it the perfect centerpiece to a Demonkin force, both in its appearance and performance on the tabletop. So let's finish off the assembly and take a look at the completed miniatures. And here we have some of the assembled examples of units found in Shadowspear. I should note that the building of the models was pretty quick and straightforward, which is mostly made possible by their mono poses. The miniatures themselves aren't easy to build in the sense that they do still require some glue, but you shouldn't have any trouble with assembly. However, this is at the expense of posability. While repetition shouldn't be much of a problem due to the uniqueness of the sculpts, you are bound to set loadouts and stances. But hopefully we will see multi-part versions of these kits in the near future. Now, if you're looking to pick up a Shadowspear box for yourself, it is available on the Firestorm Games web store for at least 10% off its RRP, and you'll find a link to its page in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, do let us know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to be kept up to date with all of our latest videos. So we just want to say a big thank you for watching this video, and we hope to see you again on Firestorm Games.